The full name?
Yeah, just your first and your last name.
First, Reg Rawls.
Okay.
R-A-W-L-S.
And how old are you?
81.
81. Great. You look like a healthy 81.
Yeah, I'm got a little bit of a pot.
We all do. All right, so I'm sure you know a little bit about the project, and you've hopefully been able to talk to other veterans that have been interviewed and had already participated in the project. So I'd like to start out by getting an idea of how you feel about participating in this project and kind of what it means to you.
Well, I'd like to say that it's to give information to other people that we're basically trying to let them know about Korea. Mm-hmm. Is that the proper answer?
Whatever you want to say.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else, or?
Yeah, if you have anything else to say, I mean.
No, I felt bad about the way Korea was treated. It's, but I'm glad I went, but I've lost a lot of good friends. But that's when you have a war.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say on that.
Well, a lot of veterans, in fact, Harry just mentioned the fact that it's kind of hard to deal with a lot of people saying that it's this forgotten war.
Oh yeah.
And the government maybe didn't recognize it as it should have been recognized. Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I didn't really think too much on it, really, because we had to do our duty, and we did it, no matter what. Mm-hmm. When we joined the Army, we signed up like a contract, and for life. And I spent 27 years in the military, so.
Mm-hmm. So what was? Let's go back before the war.
Okay.
What were you doing before you enlisted, or?
Oh, I lived in a poor section of town, and didn't have much. As a youngster, I shined shoes to make money and stuff like that, because jobs were too plentiful. Mm-hmm. So that basically covers it.
And so did the Army offer you kind of a way out to do something else with your life?
Well, when I finished up with my tour, I stayed in the Army 27 years.
So clearly you liked feeling a part of the Army.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we did quite well. I went to the highest rank possible as an enlisted man, Sergeant Major.
Sergeant Major.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, that's very impressive.
That's a good rank.
Yeah.
A lot they look up to you, and a lot of people, especially the recruits and things like that. I never treated them like I would be wanted treated. I never chewed anybody out. I talked to like father and son, basically.
Well, that's probably why you rose up to the ranks, because maybe people saw that leadership in you.
Yeah, I went to a lot of schools. So.
What did you know about Korea before you? When you were told that you were going to Korea?
Yeah.
What did you know about it?
I was in Japan at the time. I served 24 months in occupation of Japan, which living a good life, sort of, and. They were good people. They treated us well, after the war and stuff like that, but it was good.
Mm-hmm. And how did you feel about going over to Korea from Japan?
Well, I was enjoying the good life,
Yeah.
You have your own uchi and stuff like that.
Yeah. Did you know what you were getting into?
Well, they said it was a war, but never have I been in a war like that.
Yeah. Why was that?
You learn a lot. You see movies sometimes when you were kids, but I don't think I ever watched another war movie.
After that?
After that.
It's probably hard to bring back memories.
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah. So, were you able to observe the countryside at all, or the people of Korea when you first got into the country?
Not really. I spent a lot of time hauling ammunition for the tanks and the troops that needed ammo and stuff like that. I was with quartermaster company, I guess it was. And I was on the road a lot, and I had a shotgun driver, a rider, and he's the one that saved my butt a lot of times. So
how's that?
Sniper fire and stuff like that. They try to slow you down and stuff, but they couldn't hit us.
Yeah.
Those trucks can really roll.
Yeah. That's good.
You turn sideways to get around a curve.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun in a way, you know.
Well, I guess you were young.
Oh yeah, I was 20 years old because I had 2 years in Japan. It was pretty good, but you know, you had to worry a little.
So, a lot of veterans that I've talked to mention that they didn't really comprehend maybe the danger or what they were getting themselves into because they were so young.
Oh yeah.
Do you kind of feel the same way?
Yeah, I definitely.
Yeah. And was there a point where you realized that what you were doing is, you know, could have...
Kind of scary at times.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to talk about any certain point where you realized this is really scary and something bad could happen?
Well, not necessarily, but there was times that we had problems because we had to get the ammunition to the tanks, and we had to get the gas to whoever else we had to take. So it's like a quartermaster, but I carried a Thompson sub that I got from one of the prisoners, but that's the only weapon. They don't give you a 45. They don't give you anything. I'd like to have had a better gun.
Yeah.
You know, something that really kick out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had to go with what we could steal.
Yeah.
Because we weren't issued nothing.
Why is that?
I don't know, piss poor, quartermaster, whatever. I don't know. It's just something that they don't necessarily care. I guess you know, you get bumped, somebody else takes your place. That's the way it goes.
And do you think this is one of the reasons why maybe it motivated you to stay in the Army and rise up the ranks, so you could kind of help
the ones coming up?
Yeah,
basically.
because you experienced that situation yourself.
Yeah, and I never treated them like I was treated, so that's basically. I always felt they deserved a little more.
Yeah. Well, it seems like those are the kinds of people we need in the Army, people like you.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I really liked it after I got rolling and going to schools and things.
Yeah. So how long were you in Korea for? Until the end of the war?
No, I was there 1 year, and I was 2 years in Japan, the occupation. So, and then I come home, and then Truman gave me another year for training or some damn thing, but it didn't amount to anything.
Yeah. So when you were over there, did you get a chance to interact with any foreign troops or Korean civilians?
No, nothing. No, not any. No, just do what I had to do, and no conversations. Just hurry up and get back and get ready to go to the next one.
Yeah. And how did it feel when you heard you were coming home?
It was pretty good. Yeah, it was something that you've been away a long time, because I was gone 2 years in Japan and 1 year in Korea.
Yeah.
So
it's a long time.
That's right. 3 years is long.
And what was it like when you got home? I mean, you said that you had to go into training. After that, did you have a period of time where you could kind of have some R&R before you had to start?
There wasn't much of an R&R.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I had 2 weeks is all. And I had 3 years of 30 months.
And what was the reception like when you did get home from family or friends?
Well,
or anyone really?
No, nobody really knew where I was. My mother didn't know what I was doing. I didn't write to her too much.
And what was that like? That no one knew?
No, it's just one of those things. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Most people don't even read the paper.
Yeah.
So it's.
Did you feel kind of unappreciated in a way?
Well, I could have, but I just took it on the shoulder, you know, and just let it brush off. Yeah, it's nothing that you did real well.
And so what did you do when you went back into the Army? You trained for a year, and you said you were there for 27 years. So what were your other...
I went to all different places. I went to a lot of schools, and...
What kinds of schools?
Electronic. I took all kinds of electronic work. Then I became a sergeant, first class. Then I became an instructor and stuff like that. So that was good, teaching the youngsters what the military is really about.
Yeah. And how was your life? How did your life change when you got back from Korea?
My life really changed when I met my wife.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was heaven.
Is that her sitting right there?
That's her.
And how long after you got back did you meet and marry?
The first week, I think. Yeah, we married very shortly after, and we stayed together. Oh, it's almost 60 years.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on that. And have you ever talked about your experiences with her? Or did she ask about them? Or?
I thought I'd mention a few things, but not much.
Yeah.
I wouldn't talk about some stuff, you know.
Yeah.
That should have stayed in Korea.
Is it hard for you? I mean, do you think about it a lot, or?
I try not to.
Yeah. And when did you join the Korean War Veterans Association?
No, not too. Well, it's been quite a while. I don't know, something like 60 or 60-ish or 62. Maybe I joined.
Oh, so you have been.
I've been attending that.
Okay, that's great, because a lot of veterans that I've interviewed actually have recently joined them. So, and how has that experience been?
Pretty good. I think they accepted me pretty well. You know, it's pretty good guys. A lot of them had the same problem.
Yeah.
You know.
So, do you think that it offers you an opportunity to kind of talk about your experiences and maybe share some stories that might be?
I never shared too many stories.
Yeah. But is it good to be in their company then?
Oh yeah, it's good to be with other people that had the same experience that I had.
Yeah.
You know.
So even though you're not necessarily sharing your stories, you can relate to them on another level.
Oh yeah.
That's good. That's good that you've been able to keep that relationship with them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we got a good outfit. It's pretty good.
Have you had a chance to go back to Korea?
Yeah,
been interested?
We went one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go again.
Oh, great.
My wife loved it there.
Yeah.
I wanted to see the restaurant that I gave the duck to.
Gave the duck?
Gave the duck.
What's this all about?
We picked up a duck on going into Seoul,
Okay.
which was nothing. It was all blown apart. And I told my shotgun, grab the duck. And he says, I know just where we can go. So he took me to a restaurant, and he took the duck into the restaurant, and he cooked it up for his family. We didn't want anything. I said, I can always scrounge food from the military. So I always did. Yeah. When you're hungry, you find a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you visited that restaurant?
No.
Oh, you couldn't find it, or?
It's so built up in the front to a V, and then in the back would have been where the restaurant was, and they were living in the cellar because they didn't have, it was all blown up. Seoul wasn't much left to it, and I just, you know, felt it was the right thing to do.
And what was it like for you coming back to Korea?
Oh, I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was a lot different than what I was when I was there.
How so?
Well, there you had to be watching all the time, and your shotgun had to be loaded and ready to go because you were always up and down on the mountains and hills and wherever. It was good to be back, but you know.
And did you notice a striking difference in the development that Korea has gone through?
Holy mackerel! What a enormous change, really.
And how do you feel about America's role in that?
I think we really did a good job saving Korea, you know. They're pretty big now.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's great. So, and you guys were planning on going back?
Oh, we're thinking about it. My wife would like to go back. She loves it there. Yeah.
That's great. Well, I don't have too many more questions. Maybe if you could end us with some final thoughts on, as you know, this interview will be online for people in future generations to learn more about the war and find out any kind of information that they want to. And so perhaps you could give us some final thoughts for those people that will be thinking about getting information on the Korean War.
I think this program that you have here, it's going to announce to the people that they thought was not a war, because so many of them of Korea, they're scratching their head, and nothing went on there. But this will wake them up and let them know just what happened.
Yeah, it's interesting that a lot of people don't think of it as a war, because I've always thought of it as a war, and I never thought it wasn't. Yeah, I never thought it wasn't either. I never heard of anyone thinking that it wasn't a war.
Yeah, when you lose a couple of buddies, they were different outfits, and they didn't come home. We were kids from the age 15 and on up. But
it's not fair for them.
No, to be forgotten, But that's what they called the Korean War, the Forgotten War.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this project will do what it can to make sure it's no longer a forgotten war.
I hope so. Let them know really what went on, because it wasn't a ball game. Yeah. And we didn't have a lot of food at any time. Whatever food I could have, then I always gave it to the Koreans. Anything, no matter what. If I had a couple of rations, they'd get it. Because they were very poor and very hungry.
What was your interaction with the Koreans like?
Oh God, like buddies, like friends. They just, no matter how old they were, they'd bow to you and treat you like everything.
So, and what did they did they fight with you, or what role did they play?
They were. You said fright?
Fight.
Fight. Oh, fight. Yeah. No, they wouldn't fight with us. They never would raise their hands to us or nothing. They just bowed to us, and we knew Japanese. I knew some Japanese. I had 2 years, and they'd say arigato and stuff like that.
And so, how did you what kind of activities did you guys do together? Your driver was Korean?
Yeah, Korean. Yeah.
So it's great that you were able to kind of cross bridges and share something, even though you couldn't necessarily communicate all that well.
Oh, he was pretty good. He could understand a few words. I think he caught on a lot more. So I never saw him again after that. But it was an experience. I think if I had to, I would have done it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
It made Korea into a beautiful country.
Yeah. I think it's really powerful that you recognize the actions that the American military did over there.
Oh yeah, I never talked too much about it.
Well, we appreciate you sitting down with us and talking about it a little bit. We know, it's hard for a lot of people to open up, especially for non-veterans that have no idea what kind of experiences you went through over there, but we do appreciate you sitting down with us.
Oh, I appreciate coming.
As a token of our appreciation, but mostly the appreciation of the government of the Republic of Korea.
Oh yeah.
You've seen this medal, but we'd like to formally give you this medal by the Ministry of Patriots and Veterans Affairs, as well as the Korean Veterans Association, through the government of Korea. And if you don't mind, I could place this around your neck.
Okay. He's no motioning to you.
There you go. And so, as you know, the Republic of Korea is extremely appreciative of this medal, and I think they would like to recognize everything that the American military and you specifically have done, as well as us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And this will be yours to keep.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate you
Appreciate
coming
it.
with us. It's been
All right,
great.
thanks.